Beautiful artisans, welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. If you are new to the program, we create all different types of projects with recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. I do a lot of videos based on your requests to show you different ways to do things, and we do projects together. And thank you so much for being on board. And thank you for coming back. And I love your questions and suggestions. As you know, this week I've been focusing a lot on answering questions that people had. And, the first couple of weeks in November, as you know, we had the art and craft fair. So it's a busy, busy, busy hustle, hustle, and trying to get all of the projects done I wanted to and definitely and share with you. So I am really happy to say that I've answered the questions, and now we are back to our vintage yo-yo quilt. And so I want to share a couple things with you. You remember we left off right before I was prepping for the art and craft fair this past Saturday. So I wanted blue, like blue floral, and I'm going to show you the blue that I thought I had more of and that I've kind of been scouting for. This is the blue. This is the blue that I just think is precious. Now, I only have one little yo-yo from this fabric. Now, something else that I typically do after an art and craft fair is I clean out a lot of the fabrics that I'm done using for projects for now. And so I took the time to do that also this week. And here we are on what is today, Wednesday. So I'm really, really happy that I did that because it tells me what I have and what I don't have. Now, with that said, I'm just going to show you this fabric right here. You remember this? You might remember this. This is a dark pink fabric that we had for another project. In that project, it didn't look good at all. As a matter of fact, I still have that yo-yo quilt kind of even in pieces. Like I will take some yo-yos off of it from time to time if I think it will work for another project. However, most of the colors on there just don't pop. Like they don't pop with another color in this net. However, this dark pink, I decided to kind of throw it in here. I wanted to see what it looked like. So I'm going to share with you because, and I'm going to show you how far I've gotten. So let's take a look and see if you can see this. So you see the dark pink throughout the vintage, throughout the quilt. Now, if you remember, some of you may not have seen the video, but it's not too far back. But what we did is our border, I'm going to push that back. So we did our border first, and we connected our border. And then I started just kind of playing around with the design, with the little yo-yos and a little bit bigger and this and that. Now, I'm going to tell you something really, really interesting, okay? I found myself right now at this point. The reason it's at this point with the larger yo-yos is I realized as I was designing that I really wanted to get my larger yo-yos in place. And then I can focus on placing the smaller yo-yos because I am believing right now I need another contrasting color or I want it. Let's put it that way. So for the smaller yo-yos, I might be able to, I'll be able to make another one, not this size, a little bit smaller. I'll be able to make another one probably like this size, really tiny, 1.5. But these tiny ones, these tiny yo-yos, we're going to put on at the very, very end. And I'll show you when I have that design. These are going on at the very, very end. So I am really focusing just to let you know, this is how I have been ending up doing it. I'm focusing on the larger pieces. I'm laying out these larger pieces. I'm trying to get some space between the colors. And then I'm coming in, and you see, I even dared to use a darker blue. I'm not sure I'm keeping that darker blue, but for now it's there. This is the type of floret. I'm going to scout one more time. I'm going to go tomorrow. Oh, I have two of these. Okay. So that's a really wonderful. I'm going to put that up here. And what I'm focusing on at this point is I want to make sure I've got all my larger pieces, and I feel like I need maybe another larger one here, and then start building with these smaller pieces. Okay, in these spaces, I want to make sure that these spaces get covered, but you can see why I feel I need another contrasting piece with my smaller pieces. So that's where we're at here. And for those of you who do not see the last video and how we are connecting them, we are simply doing a tie knot. We're just putting it straight through. It doesn't matter on this type of quilt if you're perfectly lined with the centers. What matters is that it's not going to be lifting up like that. You want to make sure it's down on all sides and connected. So I am not sewing these on at this moment. I will be pinning them in place because I do like the way this design is coming out. Um, I'm loving it, actually, and I'm going to tell you, um, somebody, and I think I was telling you this in the last video when we were going over how the art and craft fair went. This is why I love art and craft fairs. You get information, you connect with artists, you get inspired, you get different ideas. And somebody said to me, oh, it was a customer. She said, well, can you make like a wrap out of that? You know, put some Velcro and make it so that, and she's talking about the yo-yo quilt. So with that said, there's no backing that's going to go on this. I could change the shape, but we're going to leave it as this square right now because I want to see how substantial this is after everything is connected. And we're just about done. I mean, I literally, if you look at this, if I wanted to, I'm going to be honest, I could finish it today easily. I could put another couple of these fabrics, the white and the pink and the purple, because this is purple, so I could make some larger ones like that. I still have a few of these larger ones of the peak that I could sew up, and it doesn't take long, and then I'm done. And but I really do want a little bit more vibrance in this piece. So with that, that's why I'm not just splashing them together. Now I could, but we're going to have one more video on this and then you'll see it done. And I'll hold off, on some of the stitching to bring you along with me to show you how the stitching is coming, because I'm going straight through the top, the right here when we do a stitch, we go straight through the top of the yo-yo straight to the back. So you have a little running stitch in the back, but it's so slight that it's not truly noticeable. But I want to see what that really looks like when I'm done with the whole thing, because this is not going to have a backing. So with that, I'm really excited about this. I wanted to jump on here and share this project with you. Now, so I'll be sharing the next video. We'll be finishing this. This will be done on the next video. And then I want to share with you the Boro hats that I'm working on. I am working on some hats and I'm working on more of these. You can see in the background right up here is another granny square. That's WIP. If any of you are interested in that, let me know. I'll come on the video when I'm stitching it together to show you, or yeah, when I put the granny squares together. So they're very simplistic, and basically after you get your squares together, you can make a few rows here if you want, a few rounds of crochet and whatever stitch you want. This hat I did not. This is my hat, and I love this just the way it is. And I love it fitting above my ears so my earrings can show and so they don't get caught in my hat. And today, a day like today, it's like, 40 degrees out. So it's not super warm, but it is warm enough that just a little hat like this, I've been wearing this outside all day long, in and out. And so with that, I hope that this inspires you. And so, we don't forget our projects. I just sometimes, so some people are wondering, why, Carmella, are you jumping around? So first, what I do is bring you along with me on my projects. So sometimes I have to reprioritize to get certain items to a venue. So then I'll have to stop for a little bit on a very specific project maybe I'm making for fun for you and me. And that's our yo-yo quilts right now. So, and then if a store is waiting for something, I've got to really be responsible and focus on that. Sometimes it's hard to be jumping on the YouTube on the camera and come along on those projects as I'm doing them, because it takes me a little time, and then and it shifts my focus from my creativity. But with that, I've got a good go on my Boro Sashiko hats, and those are, I don't want to say high demand, but people really, really like them. Let's put it that way. So those have to get done. So I'll be sharing those with you and sharing the granny squares hats. And in November, so for what we're going to do for Thanksgiving, because I'm working on Thanksgiving, I'm going to be honest with you, I love doing my artwork on Thanksgiving. So it's either going to be the day before or on Thanksgiving or the day after we're going to do our lampshade. I'm going to do a lampshade, and I know exactly what I'm doing. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, I can't wait to do this. It's going to be simplistic, but it's going to be seriously adorable. So that's going to be our Thanksgiving holiday special video. So come along with me on that. And anyway, I will see you in the next one in a day, in no, we'll have to have at least one more day for me, because I want to go scout at the thrift shop tomorrow and see if I can find something similar to this, because this is really what I'd love to have, kind of sparkling, kind of just little hidden gems, little florets, little garden blooms through this adorable yo-yo quilt that we are making. So you probably saying, is this still vintage, Carmella? With this and this and this is vintage. The only thing that is not vintage, and these are vintage, the only thing that's not vintage in here is this. I don't believe that's vintage. But this is, I only have one of those. And the fabric went to the thrift shop the other day on that, and I've got one of those. So, with that, that's okay. That's what it's about, is us using up our scraps and making beautiful items that are recyclable, or So, with that, I hope that you have a beautiful day. Thank you for being with me, and we'll see you in the next one.